It's Nick, December 28th, 2021. I think white privilege is a real thing. I'd like someone to prove me wrong. I think, based on what I learned in sociology class, I can take my own experiences and see how I was affected by it and explain. Like, I don't want to go into great detail about it because it's too long and drawn out and boring. And I understand why a lot of people don't see it. Like, that's something I can address maybe in another video. But what it is that white people are inherently privileged in this society that we live in, simply because we don't understand what it's like to be black, and we don't for real. Like, no matter what you think you understand, if when you're white, you don't understand what it's like to be black, to have grown up as a black person in the United States, and like based on almost every white person's experience and what they know about black people's experience is that if you put 50 white people in a room and ask them if they want to trade their experience on a daily basis with the average black person's experience, probably none of them will. If they think about it hard, like, I'm sure there'd be a lot of guys that they want to have that image of, being, cool or whatever they think it is. Whatever, I'm saying, they want to be rap stars. They whatever. They want to be like Michael Jordan, or I'm just saying it ain't like that for most black folks. That's it's a stereotype, and that's like what happens. That's what a lot of people of color have to deal with, is those types of stereotypes being applied. Like, you know what I mean? Like, white people just can't get it. Like, all we know is that we can't jump. Stuff like that. Like, we don't have to deal with just the little microaggressions that most people of color, I get all these people of color because it's not just black folks that have to deal with it. People of color in general, their experience is way different than most white people's experience. Sorry, white people, it's true. This is one thing, like, how I can describe it easily is that white privilege doesn't imply that white people haven't suffered due to their circumstances. That's not what white privilege means, but it's easy to construe it as that. But what it is that white privilege means that white people's circumstances were not already hindered by their color of their skin. Everybody's, everybody has circumstances that bog them down, and everybody has obstacles they have to overcome. But for people of color, it's their circumstances, it's their color that already bogs them down already. So they don't have that privilege afforded to white people in general. And I know there's things like affirmative action, and they've had to set up programs designed to help people of color be able to get over institutional racism and things like that. And I know that that was a disadvantage for some white people. And no, technically speaking, it might not be fair to certain white people that were negatively affected by it. But then it's a case of, that's a small minority of disaffected compared to the disaffected amount of people of color. There are people of not just color, people that are of low socioeconomic status also go through this too. Even white people, what I'm saying? But so that's the thing. But white people of low socioeconomic status, or low economic status, socioeconomic status, they still have white privileges, you know what I mean? Because their race doesn't hold them back from escaping that status. So that's how it is. That's what it is. And it's inherent to every system. And the statistics speak for it. That's where I learned is when I saw the statistics for stuff like white privilege and institutional racism, like in Intro to Soc, and then multiculturalism class to Soci 250, is when that really hit hard just how bad it sucks to not be white, I guess, in America. And it's been that way the whole time. Like, this has been believe it or not, the United States has been the most racist country, like, in the history of the world. It's, believe it or not, you know, it sounds so cliche, but we really are. Like, Hitler modeled his policies on the United States. Like, and the American dream is to be born into a wealthy family. That's it. It happens to some black people. It happens to, you know, people of color, whatever. You know, it's not the American dream that we're taught in school about how everybody has the same opportunities to advance in America. Nobody has any excuse for not being the CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation in America because, hey, the opportunity is there, man. American dream. Everyone has equal access to success. It's not true. It's not true. You know what I mean? For real, like. And people that shout about white privilege not being real, there's a point, God, I really want to make. I'm trying to get through. Like, if we really want everybody to have the same opportunities, then make it so people born into wealthy families have to go through what people born into poverty have to go through. You know, kids that were born into poverty, and it's not their fault they were born into poverty. So they have all these other obstacles that kids born into, you know, wealth don't have. If we really want to make everything equal in America, if we really want true equality, make it so that it really is as easy for somebody born, you know, somebody into, you know, a low socioeconomic status. Make it so it's really that easy for them as it is for a kid born into wealth. You know, and it's not cool. Like, the more, you know, being a woman is already, you know, at a disadvantage in a sense for as far as making money is concerned and things like that. Women make less money than men on average for doing the same work. But that's there. And then you throw in, what about a black woman or a woman person of color? And so now she's got the obstacle of being a woman and then plus the obstacle of being a person of color. And then how about this? Make her single. And then give her a baby. Now, and that's actually the most that's the most disenfranchised set of individuals in the country is female women of color that are single with children. And why have a system that makes it hardest for them to succeed, and then it makes it harder for their children, and then one of them children might be a female person of color, you know, and you know, it's just, come on, people. Anyways, so yeah, that's just what I'm saying, you know. White privilege is a real thing. Prove me wrong. Thank you.